Hello and welcome to Ed Dick Field in Tewksbury, Massachusetts, the site today for this MVC football matchup between the Lawrence Lancers and the Tewksbury Redmen. Thank you for joining us here today on Tewksbury TV. I'm Andrew Del Piano alongside Bill Gilman. Bill, week 5 of the season, the Redmen are on the roll, and they host the 0-3 Lawrence Lancers in a beautiful 72-degree weather today here in Tewksbury, Massachusetts.
Well, I was just saying that you don't get the need for sunscreen too often in football in Massachusetts, but it is a gorgeous day out here, and as you say, Tewksbury has been operating on all cylinders all season long. They really have been a machine, and Lawrence, the exact opposite. They've been struggling. Only 2 touchdowns scored this season, so it should be a fairly easy game for Tewksbury, but certainly one that they don't want to sleep on the Lancers.
Great to have a nice crowd here today at Ed Dick Field as we're just about to get underway between the Lancers and the Redmen. Number 64, Rory Power, will get us underway here. And a kick taken just shy of the 20-yard line by number 1, Andy Medina, getting it past the 25-yard line and then tackled right at the 30-yard line, and that's where we'll see the Lawrence offense for the first time today.
Well, Lawrence has struggled to put together consistent offense, but they have shown flashes of big play capability this year. A couple of long touchdowns against their first few opponents. So the secondary is going to need to be on their toes.
The Lawrence led at quarterback by number 8, the freshman Jaden Abreu, taking over the role after quarterback Jacob Tamayo graduated, now playing football at Bentley University for the Falcons. So handing over the keys to the youngster. Looking to pull off the upset today against the heavy favorite Tewksbury Redmen. A shotgun snap. Fake the handoff, the throw to the left side to Medina. Escaping off a man, that's Will McKay, getting past the 35-yard line and tackled right in front of the Lawrence sideline.
Yeah, I think we're going to be looking to see Lawrence trying to get the ball into the Medina's hands as often as they can in as many different ways as they can. He's an excellent all-around athlete, and you saw the quick pass out there trying to get him into the open field.
Lawrence off to a tough start this season, sitting at 0-3 following a loss to the Andover Warriors last week on a 44-6 road loss. And still looking for win number 1 on this abbreviated season. 2nd and 4 from the Lawrence 36. That's going to be the handoff to the left side taken by number 7, the Starling Morales, and the Redmen, that second effort, pushing them back behind the line of scrimmage.
Boy, Morales made a cardinal error right there against the Redmen defense. He hesitated, and you hesitate against this defense, and they will swarm you.
The Redmen yet to allow a point in the first quarter this season, as they've been stifling offenses for the first 4 games of the year. Definitely propelled them to a perfect 4-0 in their 21st title in the league in their program. An early 3rd and 6 for the Lancers, losing 1 yard on that previous play. Abreu faking the handoff, throwing over the middle, the pass completed, and then a good wrap-up tackle made by Kyle Dorigo. And is this going to be a first down, Bill? They look like they're right at the spot.
It looks like they might be about a half a yard short. It's going to be an interesting early decision. A great tackle, great open field tackle by Dorigo to stop him in his tracks and prevent any yards after catch there.
Catch made by the freshman number 13, Fredney Solar. And right you are, Bill, just short of the first down marker, sitting right at the 40-yard line, 4th and inches. And you hear third-year head coach Randy Audate calling out the plays for the Lancers in this young offense.
They're going to call timeout here. It does look like they're going to go for it. And 0-3 on the season, might as well.
Audate,
nothing to lose.
Audate wanting to speaking things over with this team. We'll take a short break. 9:35 remaining in the opening quarter. Scoreless between the Redmen and the Lancers.
You might have to go to the app itself. Unsubscribe.
gets hot in the...
Yeah, I was just in there last week and I said, oh, Kevin, still the official. Oh, I'll tell you, it was a valuable, you know.
Oh, yeah, right.
We welcome you back to Ed Dick Field in Tewksbury, Massachusetts. An early 4th and inches upcoming for Lawrence at their own 40-yard line. It looks like they're going to keep their offense on the field. Thank you for joining us today on Tewksbury TV. Andrew Delapiano alongside Bill Gilman.
It looks like an interesting alignment here.
Here in pistol formation, looks like for the Lancers, the handoff. And the Redmen stuffing them right in the middle. And it looks like they lost yardage on that play. It's going to be a turnover on downs. What a stop for the Redmen.
Boy, that was the middle of the line right there. Cole Committis was in on that play right in the middle, making the hit, and they just held their ground. They weren't thrown off by the formation, and they just held their ground, and Tewksbury will take over on downs in fabulous field position.
The Lawrence Lancers trying there with number 12, Julian Rosario, on a handoff, with the Redmen stuffing right there in the front 7. And as Bill just said, great field position to start the opening drive, and the Redmen have been red hot on offense this season. Led by number 10, Ryan Rometta, and along to his left, Kyle DeRigo, who has 10 touchdowns in the first 4 games. A whistle coming in before the snap. We're going to get a false start on the Redmen, backtracking them 5 yards back to the 45.
I think that was Sean Fahey, number 21, who just started to break downfield just a bit early on that play. They had set up trips to the right, and Fahey went in motion and just broke just a bit soon.
Rometta didn't have to do much work last week in the win against North Andover, as he only threw 4 passes but completed all 4 for 43 yards in a passing touchdown. As it was all Kyle DeRigo last week, rushing for 217 yards and 4 touchdowns in the dominant 41-14 win over the Scarlet Knights. 1st and 15 for the Redmen from their own 40-yard line. The handoff to the fullback, Kalua Olu, busting his way forward, getting past the 35-yard line.
Gets all the yards back from the penalty, plus another one. Kalua Olu pounding the inside, really gives them a strong inside presence there.
Talking with Kyle DeRigo last week, he said Kalua Olu and that offensive line were a big help to that massive rushing game he had last week. That's Kalua Olu with 2 touchdowns in the first 2 games he's played this season, as he missed the first 2 games of the year due to COVID protocol. 2nd and 9 from the Lancers 39. Rometta stepping up, throwing to the right, and the pass caught just at the 30-yard line. The catch made by Will McKay.
A nice grab by McKay, falling backwards, and a nice throw on the run by Ryan Rometta.
McKay, who had a receiving touchdown in the blowout win last week, picking up his first reception of the day, and a 3rd and short upcoming for the Redmen.
Come on, Redmen, big play, big play!
With 3rd and 1, well, they're lined up to run, but I'm thinking that it wouldn't be surprised to see them to go for the end zone here.
3rd and 1 from the Lawrence 31. Pitch play to left side for DeRigo, finding a hole and getting a first down for the Redmen.
DeRigo is so durable, for a small back, and he takes a lot of hits, but boy, he's durable. He just keeps coming at you, relentless.
Redmen picking up a fresh set of downs, now inside the 30-yard line at the 28. Rometta coming under center with Olu in the backfield. Pitch play to Olu, running to the right side, following his blockers, stiff arms a man, and then taken down by a gaggle of Lawrence defenders who stayed with them the whole way.
Yeah, it was a nice job stringing the play out by Lawrence there, particularly Eric Gomez. They stayed with the block, and Alou tried to follow it, but they strung it out nicely, kept it to about a 3 or 4 yard gain.
A nice play by the Lawrence defense evading the block on the outside from Aaron Conley to keep Alou to a short gain of only 3 yards on first down. 6:30 remaining in the first quarter of play, still looking for our first points of the game from either side. McKay and Alou shifting in the formation. Remetta
Jump there.
got him with jump and the handoff to Dorigo, and he lost the football. And Alou scoops it right back up, still moving forward. But as you said, Bill, before that play even happened, Lawrence looked like they jumped a little early.
Yeah, I thought that was Gomez on the defensive end position, jumped. So they're going to, oh, no. I'm sorry, they're calling this on Tewksbury. They're saying Tewksbury drew him offside.
It looked like a clear Lawrence jump on that last play, and that play should have just been blown dead, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, that very surprising. Very surprising on that, but all right, so it'll be, looks like about 2nd and 13 here, 2nd and 12.
So erase that play from the Redmen as Dorigo fumbled the ball, scooped up by Alou for nothing.
Well, in that case, that's an even bigger play by Alou because that was a live ball, and had Lawrence recovered, they would have declined the penalty, would have taken over. So that was a huge play by Alou to recover that fumble.
Pushing the Redmen back to the 30-yard line, a 2nd and 12. Redmen with 2 receivers here on the near sideline. Another flag coming in before the snap. And another false start coming in on the Redmen.
That's 3 penalties here in the first, about 6.5 minutes. That is very un-Redmond-like. That is not going to make Coach Elwood very happy.
You can see the confusion there between Remetta and Coach Elwood on those last 2 plays, saying, what are we doing, guys? Now they've backed themselves up into a 2nd and 17. Now behind the Lawrence 35-yard line. Back-to-back false starts has pushed the Redmen back to the Lawrence 35.
Lawrence showing blitz.
High snap, Remetta is able to corral, looking left, escaping the pocket, stepping up, making the throw. The pass caught by Alou, getting past the defenders, into the end zone, touchdown Redmen! What an effort from Kalou Alou to open the scoring.
Boy, a great job by Ryan Remetta to keep that play going. A little bit of a scramble, and Alou, who had started the play in motion, and then getting a nice block downfield about the 5-yard line by Dorigo to spring him for the last 5 yards of the touchdown.
You talked about Lawrence showing blitz, Remetta playing it well, corralling the bad snap, stepping up in the pocket and finding number 5. 3rd touchdown in 3 games for Kalou Alou. It's 6-0 Redmen, under 5 minutes left in the first quarter. And Nabil Barkala on for the extra point. Another flag coming in. This one looks like the referee pointing to the Lawrence side. Looks like Lawrence just jumped there. They'll put the ball now at the 1-yard line, keeping Barkala on the field. Barkala went 5 for 6 on PAT's last game, 16 for 18 on the season. The senior captain of the soccer team during the fall. And Lawrence jumping once again.
They're signaling, yep, they are signaling offside again. This is interesting. It's going to come to about the half-yard line. And it looks like now, now they're going to shift and they're going to go for a 2-point conversion here from the half-yard line.
Yeah, they're going to try to take advantage of Lawrence's mistakes here as they're just biting on every snap that the Redmen are about to take. This has got to be a run play from the Redmen here. I mean, with the run game being so dominant this season, first in the MVC in rushing yards entering the ball game from the half-yard line.
One would think so. One would think so. Wouldn't be surprising to see something with Alou or Dorigo following Alou.
Remeta's just going to keep it himself, pushing the ball forward, and the two-point conversion is good from the senior quarterback, making it an 8-0 Redmen lead. And a late flag coming in. I think Ryan Remeta is going to get hit here with an unsportsmanlike conduct, as he saw him throw his hands in the air after the conversion.
I think you're correct on that. And that will mean that they will be kicking this ball off from about the 20-yard line. However, more to the point, if I understand my rules correctly, that is a first unsportsmanlike conduct, and Ryan Remeta will not be wanting to pick up a second one.
A rare play from Ryan Remeta, who's usually in good control of his emotions, but I got the best of him there is that second effort by Lawrence to try to push him back while he was already in the end zone. Might have just pushed him over the line a little too much.
Well, and this is the type, we've talked about how well the Redmen have played this year. And last week they romped over an undermanned North Andover team. This week they're going against an 0-3 Lawrence team. You can maybe get away with playing undisciplined football against a team like Lawrence that you have significantly better talent than, but they're getting ready to play St. John's Prep next week. You make these kind of mistakes against St. John's Prep and they will burn you badly. So they really need to get themselves together, because I'm sure that above anything else, Coach Aylward wants them to be playing sharp football, not sloppy football. And right now it's been a little sloppy.
Under 5 minutes left in the first quarter, the Redmen taking an 8-0 lead over the Lawrence Lancers. This taken by Medina. They flip it behind, lost the football, but they're able to get possession back. The kick taken by number 11, Adonis Garcia, then tackled just a little over the 25-yard line.
Nice job on the coverage there. Redmen staying in their lanes, not being thrown off by the reverse, and keeping them inside their own 30.
That's a few times that Lawrence has tried that play this season. It's worked pretty well watching some previous games of the Lancers this year, as some miscommunication there on the transfer to Garcia. Lawrence taking over their second drive of the ball game from their own 27-yard line, down by a score in a two-point conversion. The freshman taking the snap, dropping back, looking to his right, throwing downfield. He's got a man, and the pass is caught, taken down by number 11, Adonis Garcia, over Michael Sullivan, past the 40-yard line.
What a nice throw by the freshman. He's 5'10", 160 pounds, but that was a nice ball. He caught Garcia right in stride. The coverage wasn't bad, but he had a step on Sullivan, and that's all he needed. And big gain for the Lancers.
Those two are known for a good connection, as those two connected for a 65-yard passing touchdown and reception last week in the loss against Andover. So the freshman and sophomore working hand in hand to get the Lancers into Redmen territory. 1st and 10. Pitch play to the left side. This one taken by number 4, Jadel Gomez. It's taken out by Stevie Alstonalt, bringing up a second down.
The one thing we've always said about Lawrence is they are an athletic team. They've got really good team speed. And if the Redmen are going to be looking to double team Medina, which they have been so far, there's going to be some single coverage elsewhere. And if they can pick out if Abreu can pick out the single coverage, he may find that he gets a couple of guys open on the deep ball.
A 4-yard run on first down, bringing up a 2nd and 6 from the Redmen 33. 4 minutes to play in the opening quarter. Abreu, the high snap. Throwing over the middle, and the pass is picked off one-handed by Will McKay, who's got a lot of room out in front of him. Past the 40-yard line, the 30, the 25, the 20, the 15, the 10, the 5, the end zone. A pick six for Will McKay.
No flags on the play. What a sensational defensive play by Will McKay. That was, as quickly as we said it, he had single coverage with Sullivan again, looking for Garcia, and McKay dropped back from his linebacker position. A one-handed interception with his left hand, hauled it in, and all the way down the sidelines for the touchdown. An unbelievable play for McKay.
I don't know about you, Bill, but that looked like it's going to be on SportsCenter tonight. A beautiful one-hand interception made by the senior captain, taking it the distance and adding to the Redmond lead.
Now, I believe that may be his second pick six this year.
No, Mike Sullivan had the first one
Sullivan
this
had
year.
the first one. That's right.
Barkala on for the extra points. Ball down the swing of the right leg, and the kick is good from Barkala, making it a 15-0 ball game and making it 17 for 19 on the season for Barkala.
Yeah, Barkala is a fun story, of course. As you say, captain of the soccer team in the fall. He's one of those guys that wouldn't be playing football except for the fall 2 season. So he's a great pickup, a powerful kicker, great leg. Normally a soccer player, but a chance to play football here in this fall 2 season.
Especially with the graduation of Tyler Keogh last year, the Redmond in search of a kicker, and they find a perfect answer to that in Nabil Barkala, who stepped up in a big way for the Redmen on the PATs.
Well, just like that, 15-0. And this already more points in the first quarter for Tewksbury than Lawrence has scored all season.
Just absolutely incredible interception from Will McKay. You're going to see that on the highlight reel over and over. This kick taken by Garcia at his own 20-yard line, running out to the left side. Got some room over there. Still on his feet as the Redmen can't take him down, and a good return past the 40-yard line by Garcia to put the Lancers in some good field position.
One of the things about Tewksbury this season is how versatile they've been putting points on the board. They've put them on through the passing game, the running game. The defense now has scored multiple touchdowns, and special teams, the return game. They've got just a number of different weapons on this squad.
How did they figure that out? How did they know that?
So a big interception on the last drive made from the Springfield College commit Will McKay. Give the Redmen a 15-0 lead, getting to 3:37 remaining in the opening quarter.
He's the first one that appeared.
Julian Rosario now in at quarterback for the Lancers, maybe just for this one play. They throw it off the left side, the ball loose, and the Redmen fall on it. Some miscommunication there between the Lawrence Lancers, and the ball scooped up by number 59, Colin Bozak. Second straight play with a turnover for Lawrence.
Opportunistic play by Bozak there. Right there to pick up the unforced error by Lawrence. And now with the ball at about the 35-yard line. Oh, no. Now this is getting called back?
Yeah, the Lawrence offense is still on the field. They might have called that an incomplete pass.
Oh, they might have called it a forward pass instead of a pitch. We have a tough angle on that. But if it was moving forward, then, yep, incomplete pass. So 2nd and 10, a big break for the Lancers right there.
Absolutely, especially with all the momentum in the Redmen favor right now. And the Lancers able to keep the offense on the field. 2nd down and 10 from their own 41. Abreu back onto the field for Lawrence, coming under center. Pass out to the right side, catch made out to Medina, who avoids a hit from Kaluolu, and then just short of midfield. A nice play there from the sophomore to get around Olu.
Some nice footwork there by the sophomore. You know, we're talking about Tewksbury having more talent. Really, what they have is vastly more experience. This is a very young Lawrence team. A lot of freshmen and sophomores in key starting positions. And they've got a lot of athleticism, but they're just very inexperienced, very raw out there.
A gain of 7 yards for the Lancers. 3rd and 4 from the 47. Abreu looking left, throwing left, pass too tall as he was looking for Garcia over the middle, bringing up a 4th down.
He had Garcia open. Garcia ran a nice slant route into the middle of that defense, but and he would have had the 1st down if the throw would have been on the mark. But now the Lancers coming out to punt.
Mike Kelly, the returner, standing at the Redmond 22-yard line. Punter for Lawrence is Adonis Garcia. Punt off the right foot of Garcia. Gets a nice Lawrence bounce, getting past the 20-yard line and getting out of bounds. A nice kick from Garcia, but a flag coming in late on that play. That's the penalty marker marked right around the 41-yard line on the Lancer side of the field. And it's going to be a chop block on the Lancers.
It looks like they're coming back. They'll make the Lancers kick again. One of the things we're seeing on the sidelines here is the players who are coming off the field for Tewksbury spending a lot of time over at the water table. This is the type of a game that we've seen in early September. Hot weather, 70 degrees. They're going to want to stay hydrated to avoid the cramping that we've seen sometimes in the second half, especially the 4th quarter of some of these games.
A 15-yard penalty given to Lawrence on the chop block. Pushing them back to their own 32-yard line. Now Kelly standing at the Redmond 40. Garcia able to get the punt off. It's a high punt, a spiraling punt. The fair catch taken by Kelly. Will that warrant a flag? Yes, it will, as Kelly called for a fair catch at his own 39-yard line.
Where's the flag? He calls fair catch.
This is going to be a huge swing because the initial punt had the Redmond down inside their own 20. And in this case, the fair catch at the 39, so that's already about a 20-yard swing. And now another 15 yards is going to put the Redmond starting up inside Lawrence field position.
You can see the unexperienced there cutting in as Lawrence taking a few costly penalties, both resulting in 30 extra yards for the Redmen on the last 2 plays, we'll call it. And as Bill said, the Redmen starting on the Lancer side of the field. 2 minutes left in the first quarter. The Redmen in control, up 15-0 with the football.
And this is what we were talking about. You can't do this against a good team. You can't have these type of mistakes against a good team because a team like the Redmen will make you pay for it.
1st and 10 from the 46. The handoff to Dorigo, waiting for the blocks to set up. Staying on his feet, then pushing forward. Just short of the 35-yard line, tackled at the 36. But a 1st down for the Redmen.
That's a Tewksbury 1st down.
Kyle Dorigo does a really nice job of following his blocks. He's not the type of back who will run over you, but he uses his blocks extremely well, picks his spots, slices, dices, and as you saw on that play, just a quick 10 yards.
Well over 500 rushing yards on the year for the senior captain that will be attending Worcester State University in the fall of 2021. First and 10 from the Redmen, getting to under 1:10 left in the first quarter. Jet sweep for Dorigo, this time to the left side, evades the tackle. And then a hard hit taken there by number 7 of Starling Morris to sit Kyle Morris down right in his tracks.
What a nice play by Jaden Abreu there defensively. If I'm getting, maybe it was Herrera, Janelle Herrera, who blew up the play initially behind the line of scrimmage and forced Dorigo to hesitate, and that allowed the rest of the Lancers to come in and make that play. So, Herrera won't get credit for the tackle, but he certainly made that play.
One final play left here in the first quarter. 2nd and 9 from the Lawrence 35. See if the Redmen do, in fact, snap this ball. And they will. Rometta, lots of time to throw in the pocket. Now rolling out to his right, looking for options. He'll take it himself to the sidelines and then gets a nice extra block on the outside from Mike Kelly. But a flag coming in late.
It's hard to tell what that flag will be, whether it was a hit on that block from Kelly or whether it was a hit on Dorigo a hit on Rometta out of bounds. There was a lot of activity going on over there.
It was a beautiful block set from Mike Kelly to set the edge for Rometta to turn the corner. But it might have been too good to warrant a blindside block.
Exactly.
You see the referees talking things over near the Lawrence sideline.
Still confirmed. I think it was clean.
They may well be talking about whether that was blindside, and they may be checking with the different referees to see the angle on whether the defensive player was turned enough toward Kelly to make it legal or not. One way or another, that's going to be the end of the first quarter.
So after 12 minutes of play here at Ed Dick Field, the Redmen 2 touchdowns, one from the offensive side of the ball, one from the defensive side of the ball, have a 15-0 lead over the Lawrence Lancers. We'll take a short break and be right back on Tewksbury TV.
They're going to be a talented team in a year or two. They've got some good kids.
Welcome you back to Ed Dick Field in Tewksbury, Massachusetts. Andrew Delapiano alongside Bill Gilman. Second quarter about to get underway as we finally get the call here from the officials. And it's going to be offsetting penalties here.
I got it on video!
And just like you said, Bill, could have been either side, and the referees hit him with both on that last play.
It is, but if I'm reading this correctly, this could cost Tewksbury more than Lawrence, because if they've hit Mike Kelly with a targeting call, then he may be done. He may be ejected from this game.
Of course, we're seeing at the college level in the NFL, the league's wanting to cut down on those helmet-to-helmet hits. And a long explanation from the referee there, talking things over, saying that Kelly leaned in with the crown and got his target. You can definitely tell things are heating up a little bit here as we've only played 12 minutes of football entering the second quarter.
Yeah, there has been, right from the initial 2-point conversion by Ryan Rometta, there's been some intensity in this game. Now Ryan Rometta looking to get a little better explanation of where the ball's going to be placed.
And now a flag coming in on the Lawrence sideline. Might have hit head coach Randy Audate with an unsportsmanlike conduct. A lot of laundry on the field in the first quarter, Bill.
Indeed. And as you say, we're just 12 minutes in. So if I'm reading this correctly now, they are going to allow one last play in the first quarter because they've still got the Redmen going in this direction. So we're not quite done with the first quarter yet.
The ball at the Lawrence 27-yard line, a 2nd and 2, and it will be an untimed down, as they call it.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
As this will result in the final play of the first quarter. And hold on another moment as Lawrence might have jumped the snap once again.
They did.
Just haven't really seen too much flow to this ball game. That 5-yard penalty will give the Redmen a first down, as this will still the last play of the first quarter, they're calling it. Pitch play to the left side, Kyle Dorigo. Taking a hard hit once again from Morales as they meet him on the outside, and that'll officially do it for the first quarter.
Nice play there by Starling Morales. Good speed, good closing speed on Dorigo.
Quarter of action. Redmond 15, Lawrence nothing.
So after all that, Bill, the Redmen up 15-0 after the first 12 minutes of play, as we took a little early break there at the end of the first quarter.
Well, definitely a sloppy first quarter, to say the least. Had some turnovers. Had an almost turnover by the Redmen that Kalulu scooped up. A rare fumble by Dorigo, but a heads-up play there. And one of the best defensive plays that you and I have seen in a long time by Will McKay on that interception and return for a touchdown.
Definitely. As I said a little earlier, definitely going to be on SportsCenter tonight, as that one-handed grab made by the left hand, taking it the distance, give the Redmen a 15-0 lead as we're about to enter the second quarter of play. We thank you for joining us today on Tewksbury TV. Andrew Del Piano alongside Bill Gilman.
I know that one of the things that Coach Aylward likes in a game like this, if he can, is to put the game away early, and especially given the weather, given the heat, although it's cooled down a bit now with the sun behind the clouds, but get a chance for some of the second and third string to get some action in a game like this. So hopefully they can get this game fully in hand sooner rather than later.
The start of the second quarter, a 2nd and 5 from the Lawrence 18 as the Redmen now in the red zone. Rometta faking the handoff to Dorigo, rolling out to his right, throwing it to the corner just a little too tall for Mike Kelly, looking for the pylon.
Yeah, he had Kelly breaking open, but he also was running for his life. He had Victor Barreros, the freshman linebacker, coming in from the blind side and had slipped past the block. So he threw that ball a little more on the run than he might have liked to.
That'll bring up a 3rd and 5 for the Redmen. Still at the Lawrence 18-yard line.
Boy, Barreras is one of those freshmen we were talking about. Just a freshman, 6'1", almost 200 pounds. Very athletic and clearly on that play, very fast.
Three receivers at the bottom of your screen. Ryan Rometta in the shotgun with Kyle Dorigo. Here we go, another flag coming in, another false start coming on the Redmen, pushing back 5 yards.
So it's going to go against Tewksbury. Being third down.
That's a tough penalty in a situation like that. You go from 3rd and 5, where you really have everything available in the playbook, to now 3rd and 10. And now you really have got to be looking to throw the ball.
This is just very unlike them, as the Redmen haven't committed a lot of penalties on the offensive line in the first 4 games of the year. 3rd and 10, now backed up at the 23-yard line. Rometta, a bullet. Did McKay make that catch and get his hands underneath it? The referee's saying he did.
Oh, what a catch.
And a first down for the Redmen. A great grab there from Will McKay, who's had quite the ball game here in the first half.
Will McKay, now offensively and defensively, showing off some tremendous hand skills, bringing in the ball. That was amazing to be able to haul that in off the turf for the first down catch.
It was a low bullet from Rometta. And McKay was able to get his hands underneath and scoop it up to his chest, and a fresh set of downs for the Redmen now at the 11. And talking with Will McKay prior to this game, his signature statement, linebackers can run and catch as well.
Well, he's proving that today.
Rometta, a double reverse into the hands of Mike Kelly, who's got a room off to the left side. That second effort over a man. Touchdown Redmen, Mike Kelly.
That's some tremendous execution on the inside reverse, handoff to Dorigo, the blocks going inside, and then the misdirection with Dorigo handing off to Kelly. And as you say, Kelly just slammed over a defender near the goal line to get the score.
The 3rd touchdown of the season for number 6. As the Redmen continue to pile on the lead now at 21-0. Just a minute 10 played into the second quarter. Barcarlo on for his second PAT attempt of the day.
Did you go to Chelmsford and drink it?
Barcarlo, the extra point. No good, missing left, and the lead stays at 21-0 for the home team.
Snap was a little bit high. It got down okay, but the snap was a little bit high. The timing of the play was just a little bit off. But yeah, 22-0, and this is what we talked about just prior to the game. Was already a minute into the second quarter, and you've got 3 touchdowns scored by 3 different people. And there's just so many weapons, so many players on this team capable of putting the ball in the end zone. Oh, and we should note, 3 touchdowns scored by 3 different people, and none of them are named Dorigo. And that just tells you something about the depth and the amount of weapons that this team has.
Absolutely, not just relying on one player on their offense, but having an array of options that they can depend on game in and game out, putting them in a good spot right now, up 21-0. The ball teed up at the 40-yard line, a kick taken by Rory Poward, and the ball dropped, still on the turf. And this one is scooped up by the Redmen. Aaron Conley clearly showing he's got the football on that last play as a Lancer down on the play. As it's Andy Medina down on the turf. As he was the one who missed the ball on the kick return and might have taken a hard hit from the Redmen during the fumble.
I think he did, and it seemed as though when the Lancers started to fumble the ball, they kept trying to pick it up and run with it instead of just fall on it. And as a result, the ball stayed loose. They couldn't get a grip on it. And as you say, Conley just came in, swarmed in, and picked it up. And now the Redmen are in business once again.
Yeah, Medina definitely took a hard hit there as he was looking for the ball.
Actually,
Excuse me, that is number 7 is Starling Morris. He was able to walk off the field under his own power for the Lancers, there.
yeah, it'd be interesting to see if Morales can come back in. He has made some really nice defensive plays for the Lancers, and he's looking a bit like he's a little shaken up. So I'm not sure if we'll see him back or not.
The Redmen will go back to work, back in business, that is, at the 25-yard line with the football after a long touchdown drive on their last possession just a few moments ago. First and 10 from the Lawrence 25. The handoff to Rigo. And then stuffed up there as he was trying to follow his blocks, but then ran into his own man and then pushed back a tackle for a loss.
Nice job by Lawrence on that play. They did a nice job stuffing that side of the ball. You had made mention prior to the game, they've got some good size up front, and that was Brandon Lavasta who just stuffed the hole on the right side.
Dorigo running into his own offensive lineman as he was trying to follow Da Vinci Sidney down the right side of the field. A loss of a yard for the Redmen. Now at the 26, 10 minutes to play in the first half. Another pitch play to Dorigo. Following the blocks, then tripped up at the 15-yard line. A solid run for 11 yards for Kyle Dorigo and a fresh set of downs.
Nice cutback by Dorigo on that play again, following his blocks nicely. Slithering his way through the hole available.
And we have another Lancer down on the field. This one is number 55, Eric Gomez, one of the seniors on this Lancer squad. It's Gomez limping off the field.
He's limping. He's looking like maybe cramping up on that calf a little bit. This is where you'll start to see some of these guys cramping up. They got to stay hydrated, got to stay stretched out. As these April games come in, they're going to be getting hotter and hotter weather they're playing in, and it's just a bit unusual for these players.
Mm-hmm. Definitely not the temperature they'd play in week 5 of a normal season.
Exactly.
But Dorigo making up for the lost yardage on the previous 2 plays with an 11-yard run, getting the Redmen to the 15-yard line. First and 10 with Rometa coming under center. Handoff, Olu. Taken out at the legs by number 24, Jaziz Perez. And it's tough to stop Kalu Olu, and he just did it there, tackling him right at the feet.
Well, I'll tell you what, Perez, another of the Lawrence freshmen, and you have got to tip your helmet to that young man, taking on Kalu Olu mano a mano and taking him down. Really, really nice play.
And it's not an easy feat, Bill, to take down number 5. It's one of the bigger backs on this Redmen squad.
Absolutely. He's the guy who, definitely leads the team in yards after contact. You generally do not get him on the first hit.
A 2-yard gain for Olu on the nice tackle made by Perez. The Redmen knocking on the door at the 14-yard line. And Lawrence jumping once again into the neutral zone. Looks like they're going to hit number 44 with this one. A 5-yard penalty on the Lancers. 2nd and 3 now from the 9. Shifting Dorigo. Rometta looking right, throwing right. The catch incomplete, falling short of Dorigo. And a 3rd down.
Rometta's pass ball is incomplete. 3rd down for Tewksbury.
Interesting to see how they handle this. One would think that they're in 4-down territory here, one way or the other. Whether they'll go for the end zone on 3rd down or just be looking to get the first.
3 receivers at the bottom of your screen. Rometta rolling out to his right, looking to the end zone. The pass is caught by Mike Kelly. He got the feet down. Oh my goodness, what a catch from Mike Kelly for the touchdown.
Ryan Renetta loves to roll out to the right. He loves throwing as he's moving to his right. And he got that ball right on the mark. There was no way anybody else was going to catch it other than Kelly. And Kelly looking like a pro right there, getting both feet down in bounds, just inside the pylon and just inside the out of bounds line for the score. Really, really nice play there.
A beautiful toe tapping display made by Mike Kelly as the Redmen add to the lead. And now Barkala on for the extra point. It's a low snap, nearly blocked. Barkala gets it off, and he gets it through the uprights. That could have been danger there.
Nice job by Barkala keeping his composure. He had a guy flying in to try and block that, and he just went through his kick and got it through. Nice job.
Redmen now up 28-0 with 8:10 remaining in the first half. And Brian Elward, after that tough start he saw in the first quarter from the Redmen, got to be happy what he's seen from the last 2 offensive drives.
Yeah, they've been able to take advantage of the turnovers, and that's something you always want to see as a coach. You get the opportunity, you get a turnover on the plus side of the field, and you're able to pound it in and make the other team pay for it. And now they've got a commanding lead.
Redmen sitting at 4-0 this season, capturing their 21st league championship title in the 41-14 week last week against North Andover. The first one dating back to 1944 in the Lowell Suburban League, and the 8th under Coach Elward. Lawrence at 0-3, still looking for win number 1, but they're in a tough spot right now, down 28-0 to the Redmen. A nice boot from Power, taking a bounce at the 20-yard line, then scooped up by Garcia. Staying on his feet, then wrapped up by Aaron Conley, just shy of the 30-yard line.
This is where, if you're Lawrence, you're trying to if you're the Lawrence coaching staff, you're trying to keep your kids having their composure. You don't want things to get ugly, and you want to see some positive things from these youngsters. And again, they've got some good young raw talent, but they're just outmatched by a veteran, talented Tewksbury squad here.
Still a lot of time left in this ball game, as we got 8 minutes left in the second quarter for Lawrence to spark some offense. As the Redmen keeping their first string starters on the field. Rosario taking the snap, faking the handoff now, handing it off to number 4, Jadale Gomez. Getting just over the line of scrimmage up to the 31-yard line, a short gain of a yard.
That's a tough formation. They're running that tailback about 7 yards, 8 yards behind the line of scrimmage. That's a tough place to try to run up the middle against this Tewksbury team, because there's a lot of time for the linebackers to come in and fill the holes, and the run support from the secondary. Tewksbury's just too good to try to do that against.
As those 4 linemen up front of Conley, Wilson, Rigo, and Duggan making things happen, and then you got the great linebackers of McKay and Arsenal and Olu in the middle there. A very tough defense to go against in the Tewksbury Redmen. Abreu with running backs to his right and left. Lots of time to throw, throwing it over to the right side. The pass complete, and then a quick tackle made by Kelly, who's had himself a heck of a first half. And the catch taken by number 15, Jadis Cartagena, for a short gain.
Third down.
One thing that Tewksbury has not been able to do, and they haven't been blitzing, but their front 4 really hasn't put much pressure on Lawrence. Oh, and now we're going to get a penalty here.
A late penalty, that is. I don't believe I saw a flag, or did you, Bill, that came in after the play?
I did not see the flag, but the signal was roughing the passer. So that's going to give Lawrence a first down on the Tewksbury side of the field.
The Redmen hit with a roughing the passer penalty after the throw made by Abreu. 6:30 remaining in the first half. The Redmen in control, up 28-0 in this Merrimack Valley Conference matchup. First meeting between these two teams since 2018, when the Redmen took a 35-6 win over the Lancers. Abreu, handoff this time to the left side. A nice cutback made, and then a good tackle made at the feet there by Sean Fahey, but a solid run there made by Herrera to get him past the 45.
It was number 6, Herrera, with the handoff for the carry.
Good to see Herrera back in the game after taking a hit earlier on. And really, that's where Lawrence needs to be looking. They need to be looking to run the slashes. They need to be looking to run to the outside, use their speed that they have to their best advantage, and use the passing game. That's really where they've got the best chance to try to do a little damage here against Tewksbury.
It's very difficult to attack this team vertically. The Redmen keeping their streak alive of not allowing a point in the first 12 minutes. 2nd and 2 from the Redmen 42. Abreu, another handoff again, coming to Herrera. Just short of the 40-yard line, a gain of a yard, bringing up 3rd down.
It looks like it's going to be about half a yard.
There's a timeout on the field. We'll take it with them. 4:52 remaining in the second quarter. The Redmen up 28-0 over the Lawrence Lancers. You're watching Tewksbury football on Tewksbury TV. We'll be right back. We welcome you back to Ed Dick Field in Tewksbury, Massachusetts. 4:52 remaining in the second quarter between the Lancers and the Redmen. The Redmen up 28-0. Thank you for joining us today on Tewksbury TV. Andrew Delapiana and Bill Gilman. 3rd and inches for Lawrence at the Redmen 40-yard line. Abreu the handoff to the right side for Morales, able to get a first down and more, then taken down at the horse collar. But nevertheless, a first down for Lawrence at the 30-yard line.
Nice run again, slashing outside the tackles. No hesitation, running full speed. And you're right, it was very close to a horse collar tackle. I think Tewksbury might have caught a break there, or he might have, the defensive player might have got his hand just around the front of the jersey enough to avoid the penalty.
A solid drive for the Lancers now at the Redmond 30-yard line, a 1st and 10. Still looking for their first points of the day. The Redmen bring the Brits. It's a snap that Abreu isn't able to corral, but the Lancers stay with the play and scooped up in the backfield by Herrera to keep the drive alive.
Heads up play by Herrera, and I'm going to tell you, they may that fumble may have come from the freshman seeing the blitz coming up the middle by Tewksbury. He may have taken his eyes off the ball just a bit, and that was enough to cause that fumble. But a heads up play by Herrera that it was a big loss of yardage, about 15 yards, but at least Lawrence was able to hold on to the ball.
A loss of 12 yards on the bad snap, pushing the Lancers back to the Redmond 42.
Watching senior Michael Duggan limping off the field after that last play. Doesn't look too bad, but looks like he got dinged up a little bit.
Duggan, who just committed this week to WPI, has made a big contribution for the Redmen in his senior season. Didn't get too much PT last year, but has been a big part on the offensive and defensive lines. 2nd and 22, a draw play for Herrera to the right side, staying on his feet, breaking out into the open, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Lawrence.
There's a flag on that play, though. That looks like it's going to come back.
It was quite the run there made by Herrera, staying on his feet, keeping his feet in bounce. But like you said, Bill, this one's coming back, a holding called on Lawrence.
That's too bad. It was a nice run. A spin move, bouncing to the outside. We saw that athleticism we've been talking about with some of these young Lawrence players. In this case, a sophomore, Herrera. But all for naught.
A 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, as Lawrence now back onto their side of the field at their own 47.
Looks like about 2nd and an Uber ride.
It'll be a 2nd and 32 for Lawrence on their own 47. 2:36 remaining in the second quarter. The Redmen will receive the second half kickoff. Abreu faking the run. This time off to the left side for Garcia. Stopped right in his tracks. The tackle made by number 27, Mark Bradley. Tackling him right at the spot where he made the reception.
What a nice play by Bradley on that. He slipped a block coming in from his safety position. He read the safety position, slipped the block, and made the nice open field tackle. Well done.
A loss of a yard on that play, now making it a 3rd and 33 for Lawrence. Under 2 minutes left in the first half. Brayu clear passing down. The Redmen bringing some pressure, able to get the pass off as it takes a one-hop bounce just short of the target. Jonel Figueroa, the intended receiver, Morales, the intended receiver. A fourth down.
Now, this was a situation where Tewksbury was able to get the pressure coming from their front four, and had Abreu running for his life on that play, and was never able to get anything on the throw. And just like that, the penalty, the fumble, and what had been a really promising drive has ground to a halt.
And a 1st and 10 at the Redmond 30-yard line as they were chugging along on offense. And then, as you said, the penalties and the fumble pushing them all the way back to their side of the field, forcing the punt unit to come on.
So now a minute and a half, and be interesting to see if the Redmen can do something.
Garcia with a nice boot. Had a little bit of backspin on it as it's down by Lawrence at the 28-yard line, and Ryan Rometta and the offense coming back onto the field.
Minute 21, set up at about the 28-yard line. It would be interesting to see if Coach Elwood wants to see if they put some more points on the board, or if he just wants to take this into the half.
Redmond starting this drive at their own 27-yard line. Rometta handoff, Dorigo evading the tackle, and then the second effort coming in by number 54, Brennan LaVista, the junior, coming from behind to tackle Dorigo.
Tewksbury taking a conservative approach, so it looks like they're going to be happy to go into halftime with a 28-0 lead.
Can you leave stick?
I'll tell you, it is great to see high school football back, to see fans back in the stands. It's you get to have a feeling of some normalcy coming back here.
2nd and 8 from their own 29. This handoff coming off to Sean Fahey, making a few defenders miss and then pushing the ball up to the 35-yard line. Fahey, who had a touchdown in the dominant win a couple of weeks ago. And that'll do it for the first half. The Tewksbury Redmen, a strong 24 minutes of play, has them up 28-0 on the back of 2 touchdowns from Mike Kelly and a gorgeous pick 6 from Will McKay into the locker room. We'll take a short halftime break, 10 minutes before the third quarter will start between the Lancers and the Redmen.
He's playing really well.
Hello and welcome back to Ed Dick Field in Tewksbury, Massachusetts. After one half of play, the Tewksbury Redmen up 28-0 over the Lawrence Lancers in this Merrimack Valley Conference matchup. Andrew Del Piana and Bill Gilman on the call here today as the Redmen will have the ball to start the second half. A quite impressive first 24 minutes for the Tewksbury Redmen.
A tremendous half. A little sloppy at times. Some penalties that I'm sure will drive Coach Elwood nuts. But you saw the depth of the team, the defensive big plays they can make, the turnovers, and just how many weapons this team has. So many different guys who can score, and how many different ways they can score. So. Yeah, so far so good for Tewksbury in this game as they look to move to 5-0 on the season.
Rometta picking up 2 passing touchdowns in that opening half. Mike Kelly with an impressive first 24 minutes picking up 2 touchdowns for himself. And then in that first quarter we saw Will McKay with an outstanding interception, 70 yards, to give the Redmen an even bigger lead at 14-0 at the time.
You know, that's the other thing. Remetta, you mentioned about Remetta not throwing a lot of passes, but he is efficient, and he will do his damage and the chances that he gets.
First time we'll see the kickoff unit for Lawrence today. It's taken by number 24, Jais Perez, and then fallen down on by number 7, Mike Sullivan at their own 30-yard line.
That was a vicious ground ball that bounced up and hit Will McKay in the face. But there you see the experience where instead of trying to scoop it up, Sullivan just pounces on it. Doesn't try to do anything fancy, sees the loose ball, just pounces on it, and the offense is in business at the 30.
Mike Sullivan, who had a nice interception, a pick six that is, a few weeks ago in the win against Bill Ricca. Definitely grown into a nice role just as a sophomore. Similar as we saw to Danny Fleming in 2019. First and 10 for the Redmen from their own 30-yard line. In command of the ball game, up 28-0. Looking to go to 5-0. Run up, pitch play to Sean Fahey. Lancers are right there to wrap him up. Garcia and Perez on the tackle.
Yeah, good speed on the outside. You saw the defensive closing speed that the Lancers have. I think if just like on the Kelly touchdown run, if you see the Redmen run some misdirections, get that defense overcommitting in the wrong direction, I think they could get some big plays.
A loss of a yard on that play from Fahey. 2nd and 11. Remetta in the I formation with Olu at the fullback and Dorigo at the halfback. Dorigo getting the call. Rolling over one of his offensive linemen. Tackled just a little over the 30.
Well, highlights have been few and far between for Lawrence so far. At 3rd and long here, if they can force Tewksbury into a punt, that would be, I believe, would be the first punt of the game for the Redmen, and would certainly be a little bit of positive momentum for the Lancers.
Lawrence forcing the Redmen into a 3rd and 9 from their own 31. The Redmen need to get to the 40-yard line for a first down. Clear passing down. Remetta dropping back. Still looking for options. Is chased down by a few Lancers and is tackled at the 15-yard line. What a play from the Lawrence Lancers defense.
That was a really nice play. Really good pursuit up the middle. We're going to see the number there. Might have been Brandon Levesta. I'm not sure. 54 or 44, and we do not have a 44 listed, unfortunately. But really good pressure up the middle, and forcing a punt, and what should be fairly good field position for the Lancers.
Great coverage in the secondary from the Lancers defense, and then putting the pressure on Ryan Remetta for their first sack of the day. A 4th and 25. And Remetta, the quarterback, also the punter, who took over the duties last year after the injury to Shane Elward and now the graduation of Elward. Figueroa, the return man, standing at the 42. It's a nice boot from Remetta on the far sideline. Had some backspin on it, though. And then down at the 40-yard line in a good spot for Lawrence to try to put some points on the board for the first time in the ball game.
Yeah, that was too bad. It was a decent punt, and unfortunately Remetta just got some backspin on it instead of the ball kicking forward. He might have got an extra 15, 20 yards, but instead it kind of bit like an approach shot on a golf course.
You got
bit right on the spot.
You got to be happy, though, if you're a Lawrence fan, seeing that last offensive possession, making a stop on the Redmen as they go 3 and out.
Yeah, it definitely was the most positive thing that Lawrence has done so far in this game.
Their best field position of the day to start a drive at the Redmond 40-yard line, 1st and 10. Taking the handoff, keeping it is Rosero. And a nice little extra effort there at the end, just short of the 35-yard line.
Direct snap there to Julian Rosero, the other quarterback. Now that'll be interesting to see if they've made a switch here, or if that was just a one-off.
We've seen him in a few sets today as he was involved in that 4th down play at the very beginning of the ball game.
Now they've got Abreu back in.
A 4-yard gain for the sophomore Rosero, bringing up a 2nd and 6 from the Redmond 36. Abreu throwing left, pass caught. Medea tackled right at the feet. And then a flag coming in as it was a good tackle made by Bradley. But you saw the flag thrown in there.
Yeah, they're going to call a holding, and it may be one of those situations where they may have engaged the blocks too early on what was a screen pass, and so they got flagged for the holding. That's too bad. It was a well-designed play, and it might have been close to a 1st down.
You're allowed to set a quote-unquote block a yard after the line of scrimmage. As you just said, Bill, a little too early and over the line of scrimmage. Those blocks were being made, and the holding penalty called against Lawrence. 2nd and 12 from the 42. Rosero shifting his way through, and you see his teammates pushing him forward, and the whistle coming in as he got past the 40-yard line.
Rosario showing some toughness. Never went down on that play. Fought his way through, but they did whistle it dead, so 3rd and long.
You saw that extra push there from the freshman, number 13, Fredney Solar, to get him past the original line of scrimmage to start the drive.
Give him a little shove there. Watching on the sidelines, Aiden Truly is taking snaps right now. Maybe we're getting ready to come in to relieve Ryan Renetta.
Lancers find themselves in a 3rd and 9 from the Redmond 39. 6:30 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Redmond bringing the blitz. They'll throw it out to the right side. The pass too tall, but it's scooped up once again by Herrera to keep the play alive, and then tackled out of bounds. Able to get some positive yardage after a play.
Heads up play there by Herrera, who understood that it was not a forward pass, but a lateral, and got a fortuitous hop right back up in his hands, was able to make at least a couple of yards out of it, but 4th down and long here.
I wouldn't be surprised if Lawrence keeps the offense on the field.
Looks that way.
Lancers are going to go for it, 4th and 8. Need to get to the 30-yard line for a 1st down. Flag coming in before the snap, a false start on the Lancers. And this is going to make Coach Audate rethink his decision, as it'll be a 4th and 13 now.
Redmond were, that may have been caused because the Redmond were showing blitz up the middle, and it might have gotten the Lawrence lineman a little antsy there.
We're still yet to see number 51 Stevie Arsenault in the ball game, who left in the 2nd quarter with an injury, as he's on the sidelines with trainer Chris Mahana right now. The Lancers are going to keep the offense on the field for a 4th and 13.
Again, Redmond showing blitz.
Abreu, 3-step drop back.
And they got him.
And Aaron Conley taking him down in the backfield, getting around the tackle, and a turnover on downs.
Aaron Conley coming from that left edge, untouched, swept around, and unable to, Lawrence quarterback unable to escape. As you say, takes over on down. Redmond take over on downs in excellent field position.
Timeout on the field. We'll take it with them. 4:37 remaining in the third quarter. The Redmen up 28-0. They'll have the football back in their hands after this break. Welcome back to Ed Dick Field in Tewksbury, Massachusetts. Andrew Del Piano alongside Bill Gilman. 4:37 remaining in the third quarter of play. The Redmen up 28-0 in this Merrimack Valley Conference football matchup. The Redmen at 4-0 in the season, while Lawrence at 0-3. Redmen take over possession after the turnover on downs. Throw out to the right side for Kyle Dorigo, who evades a tackle, and then taken down by number 54, Lavasta.
Lavasta listed at 6'2", 294 pounds, a junior, and let me tell you something. The big man showed a little speed right there, coming in to run down Kyle Dorigo.
Dorigo, a very elusive back, as we talked about a little bit earlier, ran for 217 and 4 scores in the win over North Andover last week. As he's been mostly contained all day by Lawrence, as he's still looking for the end zone for the first time. Similar play this time to the left side, caught by Sean Fahey. A pass that he had to get underneath to make the catch. He probably just would have been better off dropping that ball, as the Redmen lost some yardage.
You're exactly right on that, where he had to go down to the ground. The high school rule, like in college, you're automatically down once you're down, so he lost a few yards on that play because he caught it. If he had dropped it, it wouldn't have been any loss at all.
Redmond losing 4 yards on the last 2 plays. As we've just seen some bubble screens out to the near and far sidelines.
Redmond offense has been stagnant here in the second half.
Remetta with some time in the pocket, throwing out to the right side. Was looking on a comeback route for Sullivan. As Sullivan might have gone a little bit too far out. Incomplete in 4th down.
Pass ball's incomplete. Be 4th down.
You know, this is not the type of thing that Coach Aylward wants to see, because you don't want to pull your starters out when they're not playing well. You know, in the last 2 offensive series, or the first 2 of this half, they haven't played well at all. You'd like to give them a chance to get a touchdown drive and then pull them out, but so far, 2 punts.
Back-to-back 3-and-outs for the Redmond offense. As Remetta able to get the punt off after a low snap. Catch made by Figueroa, just shy of the 25-yard line. But a good last 2 possessions from the Lawrence defense. Looking to keep Lawrence in this ball game.
Excellent job by the Lawrence defense. And a nice play there by Renetta, fielding the low snap. And a nice play by Figueroa, because if he doesn't field that punt in the air like that, it probably is going to roll inside the 10-yard line. So that was a really nice job, even though he wasn't able to get a return on it. It was a nice job fielding it on the fly and downing it there at the 25.
9 minutes played in this third quarter. Still yet to see any points here in this third quarter. That's the Lancer offense coming back onto the field. Rosero in the shotgun formation. Handing the ball off. A counter play that's stuffed up. Gomez on the carry. Taken down by Conley and a few other Redmen.
Lawrence trying to use a little misdirection themselves. But Tewksbury does such a nice job staying at home, understanding what their jobs are defensively, and not getting caught out of position.
Richie just texted me and saying thanks. They want it. Good. Hey,
Oh, and the scoreboard has gone out here.
I was just about to say that, Bill, though.
they've been in championship game in their leagues.
Nope, we got it back. That was pretty quick. A short gain on first down for the Lawrence Lancers. Abreu back in the game. Nearly picked off once again by Will McKay. As this time almost got his right hand on it to corral it in for another interception.
Oh, maybe that was the problem. He needed the left hand. Conley again coming in on the rush, forced the early throw, and if McKay had been able to pick that off, he had another touchdown. There was nobody in front of him between there and the end zone.
McKay, who throws righty and bats righty in baseball. Again, we'll keep referring back to that amazing interception we saw with just his left hand in the first half. A 3rd and 8 upcoming for Lawrence. They're at their own 26. The 35-yard line at the first down marker. Abreu faking the handoff, time in the pocket, launching one downfield, and the pass nearly brought in. What a play at the last moment by Kyle Dorigo to knock from Garcia, who had a lot of turf out in front of him.
Boy, he was with Garcia stride for stride. Garcia coming up limping a little bit, but a really nice job at Dorigo staying right with him. Nice throw by Abreu, the freshman. It looked like maybe a smidge underthrown. Garcia had to slow down just a bit, but a really nice defensive play by Dorigo.
And that ball was in the air for a long time, and Dorigo was able to stay with it the entire way for the pass breakup. And we'll see another punt from the Lancers. Punt off the right foot, the fair catch called and taken by Mike Kelly at his own 40-yard line. And a good defensive third quarter from either side here. Yet to see our first points here in the 12 minutes played.
A little more cleanly played too, and I think to Lawrence's credit, that's one of the things you've seen, especially on the defensive side of the ball. They haven't hurt themselves with penalties. They haven't given any of those that multitude of offsides that they had in the first half. They haven't been giving those breaks to Tewksbury, so we've seen Lawrence be able to stay with them a little bit better.
2 minutes remaining in the third quarter of play. The Redmen offense back onto the field, having a tough third quarter of play with 2 3-and-outs during the quarter. Ball spotted at the 40-yard line of the Redmen. Jet sweep for Kyle Dorigo, who's got some open turf out in front of him, getting a nice block from Olu, and then pushing forward past midfield for a first down.
Nice run. That's the most space they've gotten on that play. Some real nice blocking up front, and as you said, Olu leading the way, able to get about an extra 5 yards on that in the first down.
We saw that play ran a lot last year with Elward and Keogh, as they now find the ball in the hands of Dorigo. A fresh set of downs right at midfield for the Redmen. Owen Rigo now at center, taking over for the injured Stevie Arsenault. Handoff, Olu getting the call, breaking his way forward, and then tackled at the 42-yard line. A good gain for Kulu Olu.
Excellent run on first down, and something we don't see very often from Olu. kind of made himself small, turned to the side and slithered through a hole and got a nice pickup on that.
A gain of 8 yards from number 5, bringing up a 2nd and 2. But the Redmen breaking their streak of 2 drives without a first down. After that Dorigo first down a few plays ago. Faking the jet sweep to Dorigo out to the left side for Sullivan. And able to get a block from Duggan, and then Sullivan spun around to the 30-yard line.
Well executed play. They had Dorigo going in motion to the right. Had everybody thinking it was that jet pitch to the right side, and instead went with the quick one-man screen to the left, and a nice pickup.
You see number 22, Chris Garcia, getting some help off the field after taking his time getting up after the last play.
And last play appears to be the word. It looks like the last play of the third quarter.
So no score in that third quarter of play. The Redmen keeping the lead at 28-0 after the third quarter. Fourth quarter coming up between the Redmen and the Lancers. Stay with us. Welcome back to Ed Dick Field at Tewksbury Memorial High School. I'm Andrew Del Piano alongside Bill Gilman. Fourth quarter about to get underway between the Lawrence Lancers and the Tewksbury Redmen in this Merrimack Valley Conference football matchup. The Redmen just 12 minutes away from picking up win number 5 on the season and a 5-game win streak. Trying to put the Lawrence Lancers away, up 28-0.
Much better quarter that quarter for the Lancers, but regardless, Tewksbury now on the doorstep again.
1st and 10 from the Lawrence 30-yard line. Dorigo putting his head down and then pushing his way forward up to the 22. And the small back Kyle Dorigo, heart over height, as he likes to call it, gets a good game for the Redmen.
Oh, absolutely. No fear whatsoever. No fear whatsoever. He just slams into whoever happens to be in front of him. You hardly ever see him running out of bounds. He'll take the hits. He'll dish the hits on defense. As have said about other players in the past, if there were any justice, he would be about 6'2".
Dorigo leading the team with 10 touchdowns in the first 4 games to start the season. But the Redmen haven't relied on him too heavily today. As Kelly with 2 touchdowns, McKay with a touchdown, and Olu with a touchdown. A pass out to the right side caught by Fahey, able to get some positive yardage. Only about a yard or 2 for number 21.
Connects with Fahey. He's able to pick up a couple of yards. Give him a 3rd down.
I think Coach Brian Aylward would very much like to see his first string offense pound this in, get up to about a 35-0 lead, and then be able to use his bench the rest of the way.
They got to take care of this play here, though. 3rd and 2 from the Lawrence 22. As the Redmen with Olu and Dorigo in the backfield. Dorigo getting the handoff, finding some open space on the left side. Kyle Dorigo slipping his way through and into the end zone. Touchdown, Kyle Dorigo, his 11th of the season.
But a beautiful run by Kyle Dorigo. And now they look like they may have marked him out of bounds.
They didn't call it touchdown. They said
Yeah, hold on a moment, as goal judge must have came in at the last second to rule him out of bounds, as you saw the official right there in the middle of the end zone signaling touchdown.
It looks like he's out of bounds at about the 2-yard line.
So wipe off that touchdown for Kyle Dorigo for now. 1st and goal from the 2.
I think you very might likely see him get the ball back again here.
Same formation as the last play. Dorigo getting the call once again, slipping his way through, and this time he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Kyle Dorigo.
There you go. He deserved it on the last one. He got it on this one.
There's the 11th of the season for Kyle Dorigo. 11 touchdowns in 5 games for Kyle Dorigo. Continues to lead the team in scoring. And the Redmen lead now 34-0, pending the extra points.
You know, you're not going to see it in this game, but I find myself really wanting to see this kicker have an opportunity to kick a field goal of some distance. He's got a very strong leg, and somebody like that, when they face St. John's Prep next week, could come in handy.
Barkala on for the extra point. The ball's down the swing of the right leg, and the kick is good from Barkala, increasing the lead to 35-0. Just a little over 9 minutes left in the ball game.
Simsbury 35, Lawrence nothing.
A nice drive for the Redmen there. DeRigo getting a chance to get his first touchdown of the game. But I think that gives the coaching staff, helps them to breathe a sigh of relief after the first 2 drives of the half. Really, they, as you said, 3 and out. They had negative yardage combined on those first 2 drives. So third drive, they put it together, drive down the field, get their touchdown, and have things well in hand.
With the lead now being over 30 points here in the fourth quarter, the clock now running. So we're getting to 9:30 and counting left in this ball game. Be nice if we could see the Redmen offense back on the field for one more time, most likely with that second string. The kickoff from Rory Power. It's caught by Garcia. Running out to the left side, getting some nice blocks, then taken down by Mike Sullivan just shy of the 30-yard line.
Nice open field tackle by Sullivan. The Redmen's kickoff coverage has been outstanding in this game.
We're going to mark the runner Garcia over the 30-yard line, on that last play.
The Lasers are going to start this drive just at the 30.
First and 10 from the 31-yard line. As Abreu stays in at quarterback, experience being the most important thing for him in this shortened season just as a freshman. Abreu throwing out to the right, he's got a target, and just wide as he was looking for Cartagena on the near sideline, incomplete.
That's a tough throw to make on the run. And what happened on that play is exactly what tends to happen. You're moving to the right, and you tend to draw the ball to the right, just out of reach of your receiver. And it's a throw that he'll make with some more experience. And it's a throw that Ryan Renetta makes extremely well. He loves moving to that right side. He loves throwing on the run in that direction.
And of course, that'll just come with experience. Remetta, in his senior season, led the Redmen to the state semifinals last year in 2019 as a junior. The handoff coming to Gomez, and the Redmen, a gaggle of defenders pushing him out of bounds as Gomez was trying to stiff arm a few of them.
Lawrence looking for what they thought was an offside. Tewksbury might have caught a break on that play. Looked like somebody had jumped, but no call on it. So third and about 15.
Third down for Lawrence.
Lancers getting a nice surprise on Tuesday during practice. They were visited by Patriots running back Damian Harris, who visited with the team. So pretty cool experience for the youngsters to meet a star that was probably top 5 in rushing during the last NFL season.
Yeah, absolutely. Damian Harris is a rising star with the team, expected to be a big contributor in the upcoming season.
A third and 14 for the Lawrence Lancers at their own 27-yard line. Just a little over 5 minutes left in the ball game. Abreu with some time, a pump fake, evading the pressure, still on his feet, rolling out to the left side, and then hit on the arm, trying to release the ball. I believe it was number 64, Rory Power there, who got a piece of the quarterback.
It was, and they're going to call that a fumble. They're going to say he didn't have his arm moving forward, so call that a sack and a loss of yardage. And fourth and about 22.
And the punt return formation coming on for either side, as it looks like we will see the Redmond offense on the field for one more time today.
That's going to bring him 4th down for Lawrence.
Sean Fahey, the return man, moving up now to midfield. Garcia still taking care of the punting duties for the Lancers. A spinning ball gets a good Lawrence bounce, and then down right at midfield for the Redmond offense.
So this will be nice. The second unit will have a chance to take a series of snaps for the Redmond here in the final 4 minutes of the ball game. Get a little bit of game experience here on the home field.
And you can see assistant coach Tom Bradley there talking things over with the Redmond offense about to head onto the field. Definitely will point out some new faces into the ball game for the Redmen. So Aiden Truly, the junior, will take over after a solid day from Ryan Rometta with 2 passing touchdowns. 3:20 remaining in the ball game. Jet sweep off to number 20, Nafali Mercedes, who's taken all the way back to the 40-yard line. Excuse me, they're going to call that forward progress.
Tewksbury loses the view. 2nd down.
I saw that speed again from the Lawrence defense. Now Lawrence is emptying their bench as well.
Loss of 8 yards for Mercedes on the jet sweep. That's Truly coming under center. The handoff wrapped up right at the line of scrimmage. There was number 23, the sophomore, the younger brother of Kyle DeRigo, Justin DeRigo, on the carry. Barely getting back to the line of scrimmage. And Lawrence had second string with a good string of plays.
The Lawrence defense has played very well in this second half. Tewksbury had the 1 touchdown drive, but aside from that, the Lawrence defense has played very well and many less mistakes.
Truly in the Redmond in a 3rd and 18. The handoff coming to Logan Oth, looking for the corner, gets it past midfield, and then pushed out of bounds right in front of the Redmond bench.
Nice run there by Logan, getting the corner, protecting the ball. Important to do in the last few minutes of the game.
And the Redmond bench and exchanging some words there with Figueroa as he pushed Oth out of bounds. Redmond protecting their junior.
Tewksbury going for it here on 4th down.
A minute left in the ball game. The Redmond up 35-0. Truly getting the handoff to number 28, Ryan Fleming, stuffed in the backfield. A nice set of defensive plays there from the Lawrence defense, forcing a 3rd and 3 and out.
Senior Eric Gomez, another 300-pounder. You had mentioned early on about the size that they've got up on the line. The Tewksbury offensive line did a nice job against them, but with the second unit in, Lawrence being able to make some hay up there. They've got some big boys on that front.
With the clock winding down, we might see one more play from the Lawrence offense before they call it a final in the books. Erzaro in at quarterback. Final snap of the game. It'll be a QB keeper. Looking up the middle, getting around a few Redmen. And then taken down just short of the 40-yard line. See some extra shoving between the two teams.
Folks, that's going to do it from Ed Dick Field.
And that will be a final here today. The Tewksbury Redmen
Come away with the victory.
move to 5-0
35.
after a 35-0 win over the Lawrence Lancers. Lawrence moving to 0-4 on the season. And the next Redmen home game will be next week when they host St. John's Prep. And what a battle that will be.
An outstanding performance again today. Solid all around. Got rid of some of the early mistakes and put together a solid victory. Excellent job by the defense. Some turnovers, defensive score again, and they will need to they'll need to clean it up. Not be as sloppy next week against a solid St. John's Prep squad in what should be an epic battle here at Ed Dick Field.
And it'll be two top 15 teams ranked in the Boston Herald meeting here at Ed Dick Field. Again, that'll take place next week. The Tewksbury Redmen are 5-0 after a 35-0 victory over the Lawrence Lancers. Thank you for joining us on Tewksbury TV today. For our entire crew, I'm Andrew Del Piano alongside Bill Gimmon. We'll see you guys next week when the Redmen host St. John's Prep.